Hope is on the horizon, my friends. Evander Kane is back at Edmonton Oilers practice after suffering that wrist injury against the Tampa Bay Lightning only about, a month or so since the injury. And Evander Kane is back on the ice with the Edmonton Oilers, getting things going, stick handling, skating, and away he goes. This is Dolynny TV, and welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers updates here on the channel today as we get set to recap Evander Kane, who's in net against the Montreal Canadiens, and some lineup notes ahead of the Montreal Canadiens game this evening at 5 p.m. Folks, I am Tyson. Welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, what I want you to do right here, sorry, I don't know how to point at my graphics properly. Everything's kind of mirrored. The like and notification button is there to prompt you to hit that if you'd be so kind. And secondary too, folks, if you haven't been in the streams, you haven't seen this nifty graphic, if you're new to the channel, what I want you to do is consider hitting that subscribe button to the channel throughout this video. You don't have to do it right now, but if you'd be so kind to consider it right now and take that with you for the rest of the way, that'd be great to go. Subscribing's free, so there's no hardships there for it. Folks, with that, we get to this image here from Oilers practice, courtesy of video from, oh yeah, Ryan Rashog, who had a video uploaded first off that wasn't so good, but this second video that's uploaded much better. And there's Evander Kane today at Oilers practice on the ice, skating around, and look at that. He's got two hands on the stick. The wrist injury kind of looks like it's kind of holding the stick a little lesser, but there you go. We can overanalyze this all we want, my friends, because finally, like I said, hope is on the horizon for the Oilers as Evander Kane is back on the ice. There's a stick in his hand and a puck on the stick, and he's up on his skates. So this is pretty important news for our Edmonton Oilers here. Finally, seeing right about a week and a half ago, we saw the image of Evander Kane flicking a shot down the ice at practice off the bench with just one hand, and now suddenly you see there's two hands on a stick, and Evander Kane is officially fully working his way back into the Edmonton Oilers lineup. It was a 3 to 4 month lead time, so we were talking about end of February, beginning of March, and hopefully that is still the case because we don't want him to rush back. But to see Evander Kane potentially be ready to come back maybe sooner, not a bad situation at all. It was 3 to 4 months, I guess you could say, but if it's going to be closer to that 3 months, don't mind me at all. So that's Evander Kane news for the day. He's back on the ice. He's up skating around. He's got a stick and puck in his hand, and he's working around getting ready to come back from injury. And that's a good old omen on a Saturday afternoon, Saturday morning, whenever you're tuning into this video to find that out. So folks, with that, we move over to the pregame portion of today's video, courtesy of Jack Michaels, who had the tweet 22 minutes ago from Oilers practice. Skinner will start versus Montreal. That's a foregone conclusion in anyone's mind that Skinner was going to be back in net after the Jack Campbell debacle against the Minnesota Wild. Louis DeBrusque, Gene Principe, and Jack Michaels have your call on the Oilers game at 5 p.m. as they host the Montreal Canadiens at Rogers Place. Of course, Montreal gets the favoritism of time because they are Montreal. Same thing, treatment applies to Toronto. All right, the other side too is the only other changes to the Oilers lineup today seems to be that Benson comes in for Hamblin, who is not on the ice for the Oilers today. James Hamblin not on the ice. That's something to be watching for, looking for, with Holloway and Brad Malone. So you'll have a bottom six lineup kind of looking a little different with Benson in there on the fourth line instead of the third line. Costin, Shore, and Ryan take up the time on the third line, and then Janmark, RNH, Puljujärvi, Draisaitl, McDavid, Hyman. Those lines courtesy of Tony Brar, although Ryan Murray also skated as a seventh defenseman, and Yamamoto was also on the ice. So Yamamoto, I'd assume we see him probably turn of the week is just kind of the idea I'm starting to see here for the Oilers, just because simply put for Yamamoto, it's been a week on IR just about, and I'm sure he's just about ready to come back from whatever has been ailing him for the past couple of weeks now. But for the Oilers, right, you talk about having Evander Kane being a potential boost to the lineup sooner rather than later. Obviously, sooner rather than later is still January, early February at best. but you're talking about hope is on the horizon there. Yamamoto continues to skate. Ryan McLeod, Warren Foegele, nowhere to be seen at practice according to the tweets we've seen today. So hopefully they are ready to go here soon, and they're just being kept off the ice to, they are more or less not aggravate the injuries they are suffering from. But yeah, there isn't much to be said. Although Yamamoto was on the ice, but doesn't look like he will play according to Reed Wilkins. That your morning trip, and yeah, there's not much else to see from Oilers practice as of yet. So that's good news for the Oilers, is you've kind of got things coming together. And when you're missing 4 lineup regulars in Yamamoto, Foegele, Kane, and McLeod, you are missing quite a bit of your bottom 6 offense there. Not that they've really contributed too much yet, but hopefully for them they can get something going here in a matter of moments. And for the Oilers again tonight, it's a test against the Montreal Canadiens, just to nope set up this matchup a little bit for you. We can talk about the lineup notes and all that as we need to do, but we can set up this matchup a little bit ahead of tonight's live stream for you. But when it comes to the Oilers and the 5 o'clock start against the Montreal Canadiens, with Stuart Skinner confirmed to be the starter for the Oilers today, what you also need to know is the fact that it looks like Jake Allen's probably in net for the Edmonton Oilers, or for the Montreal Canadiens. Sorry, it's early morning. It's 10 o'clock as I'm recording this. Rolled out of bed an hour ago. Jake Allen suffering a 3.40 goals against average and an 898 save percentage. Realistically, not that much better than Jack Campbell today. So that's hopefully the Oilers can contribute to that number. And for the Oilers, the goals against per game continues to be an issue. So the biggest thing we need to do in a night like tonight, and I cursed it against Minnesota, is simply put, go out there and give up 2 goals or less tonight, make a real impact of Stuart Skinner starting, and allow the team to bring that goals against down while also inflating the goals for a little bit by, like, go out there, score 5-6 goals, right? The Oilers have had some offense lately. Go out there and continue to score goals, continue to do what they need to do. But for the Oilers, right, is it should be an easy rallying cry when you see Evander Kane on the ice. You want to go win tonight for him out there stick handling and having a good time on the ice prior to practice today. Folks, that's really all there is to cover off for Edmonton Oilers news this morning. That's your Edmonton Oilers update on Dolynny TV. I'd like to have you, like I said, along for the rest of the season if you're new. So if you would be so kind to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned to the channel, that would be greatly appreciated. And like I said too, if you haven't already hit the like button and click to get notifications of when I post Oilers news, make sure to do so if you'd be so kind. I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. Thanks for being along for this sleepier edition of Dolynny TV. There was a video recorded earlier that references this video. Instead, I'm going to reverse upload them because there's a little bit more news coming out after practice already. So I am up on out of here.